Chris Payne. Say hello.
Hi.
I'm letting him use the plasma cutter for once.
I get to play with this toy. All right, ready? Here we go.
See what you got.
Under pressure. How did I do, Coach?
I'll give you a A-.
All right,
Because you didn't put your welding jacket on.
What's up, Lite Brite Nation? So we're back from Smoky Mountain. We had a great trip. It was awesome meeting all of you guys and getting to do a lot of cool stuff while we were there.
It was really fun for me to go back to the East Coast because I did miss home, and it was nice to see my family that stopped by the event and meeting all of you guys. It's crazy.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yes, it was so much fun.
But all good things must come to an end. So we're ending that, but now we're back to good things.
We're starting other good things.
So now we're home, and we have a little bit of work to do. With Trail Hero coming up, we have that thing and that thing, and we'll dive into these right now and tell you all about them.
So both of these builds belong to the same person, and he happens to be a really good friend of ours. This Jeep has been on the channel before, CJ. It's on 43s. It was black when it was previously on Lite Brite Nation. Now it is orange. It is John's favorite color. John had the whole tub bullet lined, and the outside is also lined too. And he basically just wanted Chris and I to put it back together after it was painted. So we're gonna do that, and we're also gonna do a couple other little things that we will get to in the video. And then we have what is known as the pebble bouncer. Yeah, we were just supposed to fix the axles up a little bit, and we got into it, opened up the front axle, and the gears were in pretty rough shape. Like the teeth were chipped, and then we opened up the rear and it was full of mud, and we were just like, you know what? Let's just find some different ones. So Chris did his research, and we picked these up really close by, got a really good deal on them. The plan is to completely clean these up, put a truss on them, and make them look beautiful, throw them under the pebble bouncer.
So one of the things John wanted to do is he wants to simplify this dash. All the old switches and the light switches and all the old stuff, we're gonna get rid of all that. Because I hate wiring, but I'm really good at it, we're gonna do a Switch Pros. So we're gonna turn all of these switches into one Switch Pro. So we're gonna clean up the dash, we're gonna move some things around, I'm gonna put some of the gauges back in the middle. We're just gonna make this a lot cleaner and easier to use. So that's one of the things we're gonna get doing, and clean up all the wiring in here.
While Chris is working on the CJ, I'm going to be tackling the pebble bouncer. Before, he had 1/4 ton axles, and those axles came with all these spacers, and it was one of the reasons he brought it to us, because we never want to see those again. Good news is, we did get the 1 tons, and they are 8 lug. And what I'm gonna do next is cut all of these brackets off and completely clean it up and get it ready for the Barnes 4-wheel drive truss kit.
So while we mock up this dash, I'm gonna cut it out of aluminum. So we're gonna lose this dash. We are going to take the ARBs and put it in the Switch Pros, the lights, put it in the Switch Pro. I don't know what these are for. I'm pretty sure these are the bumper lights, which will be in the Switch Pro. All of the heat and AC controls, which we will upgrade that also. We will be putting an AC system in here. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm still trying to figure out which one will fit. So I'm still doing a little bit of research. But anyway, that'll fit inside the dash. So I'm not really worried about that part. The radio, we need to put a radio in there. We're gonna move all 3 of these gauges and put them next to each other like they're supposed to be, so that you can see everything all together. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this dash out and disconnected and see how bad the wiring is back there.
Everybody out in the world, stop messing around.
So I'm tearing this dash apart. nightmare. So we're tracking some stuff down. I do know that all of the ARB stuff, which is now down here, all of that will come out because that's all gonna go to the switch pros now, so that's cool. I have a black wire that I think is a positive wire, so that's cool. We're gonna yank that out. We're finding some more stuff, so we're just gonna yank all this stuff out. On the passenger side, where all the battery stuff is, all of this is gonna go. So we're gonna try and decipher where all of it came from. I do know, and then this little guy, there's like this floating relay. It says fan, but let's find out. So we're gonna rewire the fan, rewire all of the ARB stuff, get rid of all the relays and all this stuff because, you know, Switch Pros can handle all that by itself. So then I'm gonna take all this wiring out. All right, as you can see, we got it out. I took the old heater box out because we're not gonna use that. So now I just have to decipher all of that mess and clean it up. Because there's a lot of stuff in there we don't need. Like, I'm gonna redo these speaker lines, so half of this will be gone. This is the old resistor for the fan resistor thingy-majigger, so all that wiring is gone. Don't need any of that. All the lights and stuff for the old gauges, this can all go because I'm not going to use that. I think I'm going to convert this to an electric or electronic oil temp sensor or oil pressure sensor. That we got to clean up. They kind of oversprayed onto that guy. Some of this is going to go away. So now I just got to go through there and just figure out what everything is. Also, we got all of the relays off of the firewall in here. This is the only cable that needs to run across here. I just need to loom this up and clean all this up. I got rid of that big cable that came across here because all the ARB stuff is now out of here because it'll go straight into the Switch Pros. We're gonna shorten all this stuff up. These are for, I don't know, the O2 sensors or something because this is injected. Reloom it, clean up the top of this engine bay, redo some of these. I gotta redo the fan because the fan, that's what that one relay was, and it was burned, so they were having to jump the fan, so we'll have to put a real fan in there, and that is also controlled by that guy right there. So we'll have to get a new relay and stuff wired into that and get that fan running. This is gonna go to the new AC box that'll be in the firewall when we get it, but for now they just ran it like this because I don't know why, but hey, it works.
I was trying to take these nuts off, and as you can see, all of them are pretty mushroomed, like someone took a hammer to them. And like when this one was coming off, it was completely taking off the metal. And this one, I can't even get off right now. So what I'm gonna do is take the finger grinder and just like clean up the edges and hope that it'll come right off afterwards.
After I was done going through that wiring, we took everything off of here that was important, and I'm starting to transfer it out into a layout of the new dash. Had to move some stuff over because stuff didn't fit in some spots, so, but this is what we're gonna pretty much end up with. We're gonna put a speaker over here. Glove box will be gone. We really don't want the glove box in here anymore. There'll be a speaker here. I still gotta put turn signal LEDs in here. This is the original cluster. Maybe, I don't know if we're gonna get rid of that because now we don't need all the gauges that were in it. I don't know yet. The tack, temp, volts, oil, and surprisingly enough, I got the original quartz clock actually works. Believe it or not, it works. I don't know how accurate it's gonna be over time, but it does work. And I'm gonna stick that back in the dash because that's pretty rad.
So I did take the grill off because it is going to be painted in the same bullet liner color.
And today we're just gonna start sticking on what we do have. I think we have a window frame, a tailgate, we have the rock protector, the rocker protectors slash rock sliders.
Sliders, yeah.
And the rear bumper. So that's what we're gonna try to get on today.
Before we put the tailgate on, we did want to touch up some of these miscellaneous brackets and make them look a little bit better. And John didn't want these to be silver anymore, so we're going black.
Beck is a professional painter. She's really good at it. And I like it.
What's funny is, like, growing up, my dad always had a joke that if we ever needed a job living out in the country, the horse farms, that we could just paint the fences. Worst came to worst.
John also wanted to polish this tank up, so I'm gonna clean this tank real quick. Clean the overspray and the dirt and the years of grime and stuff on it, and probably hit it with the buffer real quick and see what happens. I don't want to make it too shiny. We'll just see what happens. There's a lot of like grit, a lot of grit and dirt and grime on this from over the years. So I'm just gonna Scotch-Brite it, hit it with some acetone, and see if we can get this thing to polish up a little bit. So Beck and I got pretty far on the CJ. Now we're gonna shift gears because we're waiting on some parts for the CJ. We're gonna shift gears back onto the bouncer. So we got a little bit of work to do on the bouncer. So that's what we're gonna do now. Now we replace some ball joints.
Last night I got these parts sandblasted, and today I'm going to primer them and paint them.
And while Beck gets those parts all painted up, I'm gonna strip this firewall back so that we can paint this firewall, because let's be honest, it looks pretty bad. So here's the new dash layout of the CJ, or for the CJ. So I got them new speakers. These are marine piles. I mean, I know they're not like super high end, but they are waterproof so that we can put these in the dash without having to worry about having the top on them. They can get wet, and they've got a nice screen on them. That's all I really wanted. We're gonna put 4 gauges across here, not 3, so these will actually be 4 across here because I needed a fuel gauge, so there'll be a fuel gauge here. Speedometer, which just came in, it's an odometer. So we'll put a speedometer here. I have a new RPM gauge coming. It's the same series as this, so it'll match. Actually, all these gauges will all match. They're all the Z series from Odometer. Kevin's making noise. Haha, I got these two. I got a USB, the 3.0 USB, so it'll be a quick charge. So I have that, and then I have a regular input, auxiliary power for whatever else he wants to run, steering column, and then one more speaker will go right here. And then we'll cut this whole thing out and get it all bent up. Switch pros, 12 button switch pros will go somewhere in this vicinity. And an original quartz clock out of this CJ. I'm gonna throw this nice vintage piece back in here and make it work because I think it's sick. So I'm gonna get to plotting one more time and actually get some lines drawn out and some circles and stuff. The grab handle, this factory grab handle in here. So yeah, let me get to cutting. Back to getting everything prepped for paint. There's a couple of things we're gonna paint orange. We're gonna paint that's the center armrest console thingy. And he does want these ORIs painted orange. So we are gonna take these off, scuff these up, and paint them orange. Bead lock rings will be orange. The cage that holds the tank down will be orange. Touch up the links. And then black seats, orange belts, and then the orange cage that'll be on it. So that'll be pretty sweet. And then the dash will be black with all new layout. And then a bunch of black hardware. This thing should be pretty sweet. All right, so we got everything laid out. We're gonna have the speaker right here. I need a 5 1/8 hole centered from here. I need to cut this guy out. The steering wheel trim will fit around it, the steering column trim. I have 2 gauges, RPM and speed. Those are both 3 5/16 hole saws. Beck actually just ran up to the hardware store to get me this hole saw because I don't have one. I do have these. These are 1 1/8. These are for the 2 USB and auxiliary power, and then 4 of the same gauges, 2 1/16 for fuel, volt, oil pressure, water temp, or probably not in that order, but you get it. So that guy goes right there. This is for the switch pros. So this guy will go right here, almost to dead center. So this is the center of the dash. And that's as close as I can get it to center. So we're gonna go right there. This will be the radio. The other speaker, we'll probably put some sort of pocket here, but I won't put it in the dash. I don't think I'm gonna put an actual glove box back in it. I think what I might do is do like a molly pack or something like that. So I might cut something to go here so you can hang molly pack on here. But this is gonna be the one speaker, and I haven't quite figured out exactly where I want this to go. It's probably gonna go up here somewhere, the grab handle. And that's it. And then in the future, I don't know what we're gonna put here. I was gonna put AC here, but we are gonna go with an under dash unit and not an in dash unit because I don't quite have the space, if the gauges and everything are in here, to run a behind the dash full AC unit. So I'm gonna run an under dash. And we have a lot of room under the dash, so that's what we're gonna probably run with. I think it'll look great. And everything's black because he wanted black face and black rings, so I had to order all new gauges. And this is what we came up with. We do wanna do something with this. He doesn't like the chrome. I don't know, maybe we'll powder coat it or something because he doesn't like the chrome, but that's the only piece of chrome on the inside. But for now, we're just gonna get this cut out. So I know I've said it before, but wax will help cut aluminum.
Is he talking to you?
Come here.
Come here, Pecker.
Come here, buddy. You saying thank you? Here. Here, one more. One more here.
Well, he's got 2 over there.
So we got all the holes cut out. There's actually holes under here. Yep, right there. Bam. And they fit. So this is the top side. This is the face. This is the face of the dash. But now it is time to wire all this up because I'm gonna do something a little different on this dash. So instead of everything having a plug and then having to plug it into the dash on that, what we're going to do to this one is we're gonna run all these accessories. So a left and a right speaker, all the power and grounds for all of the lights, all the powers to power everything, except for the radio because it has its own plug. But these, the USBs and everything, the speedometer, the RPM gauge, the tack wire and everything that comes out of that, and the speaker wires, because they're physically attached to this dash, we are going to run a harness. I'm going to create a harness that's going to pick up all of these, including turn signals. There'll be a left and a right turn signal and a center like warning light. This right here will plug into that, but this plug will be part of the dash. So this will come out of the dash here. It'll come out of here and then plug into the Jeep. So this will be one plug. There'll be a second plug that'll have the speaker wires and everything else that's going to be an accessory on this dash. So you can install this dash and then just plug it in. And the reason I'm doing that is because we all know how hard it is to pull a dash. If you saw me pull this dash, I had to get under there and unplug every individual thing because it was tied to the Jeep, which makes removing the dash really hard. And I want to try to keep it really clean under the dash, so the dash will have its own harness over to the driver's side and then just plug in. And then I can run all of the harness under the driver's side and against the firewall, so there'll be no wires under there, because I don't like that, except for the radio. The radio will have its own power and everything, but it sticks far enough in there, and you can just simply reach under there and unplug it. Easy. So let's get started. All right, so as you can see, I have a couple of circuits already ran. I have Illum and all the grounds ran. I have a tack because it was already in there. But what I did is I am going to incorporate the radio into this harness because I already have power, I already have grounds, I already have ignition, and then the front two speakers. The only thing that will not be in this is the two rear speakers, which I figure would be easier to put a connector here to run all the way over here for the two rear speakers. So that's what we're gonna do. That way we don't have to worry about anything in this dash. We'll just have one connector over here that'll have all the extra stuff on it. I'm not sure what it is yet. I know it's a left and a right rear. I don't know what else will be in here yet, but this is how it is coming along. Sweet, so guess what just showed up? All the rest of the gauges. So now I can finish beautifying this section right here because there's a lot of mess in here. That's what we're doing. I got the switch pros plugged in and cut. So I'm gonna put another connector here so that it's with this one. Still gotta run two sets of speaker wires, left and right rear, to a plug over here, and then run these three sensors back up, which is oil pressure, water temperature, and fuel, so fuel level. But I needed to know how they connect. So let's get these things open and in. Woo!
So I took John's beadlock rings off, and now I'm going to sandblast them and get them ready for paint. There's a snake in my poop.
All right, guys, I know, more wiring, but we're almost done. We got 3 more things to do. All right, so before I forget to do this again, because I already forgot to do it once, the first time, we are mixing up some paint. So I got my gun here, and no, it's not a Harbor Freight gun. It's actually a really good gun. Ooh. It's a Pininfarina. So it's a nice Iwata gun, gravity feed. I may or may not have already done some stuff, which you will see right now. And now I'm gonna go for round 2 because I don't have enough room back here. Made this cool little paint booth out of the back of the shop. It actually works very, very well. We didn't get anything on the concrete floor or anything else or the walls or anything. So I have the beadlock rings left, the center console. We're gonna paint the whole center console, the bottom of the fuel cell holder down or thingamajigger, the winch plate cover, the top plate for the winch. You'll see it when it all comes together, but right now we're gonna shoot this orange, and then I gotta whip up some clear and shoot this stuff clear. I'll show you everything when it's done. I don't know if you can see it, but man, look at that gold. There's some gold flake in there. Oh, it's so pretty. I mean, I'm not a huge orange fan, but man, look at the shimmer in that. Woo! Let's get it painted. All right, there she is. Look at that, no runs. It's like I've done this before. Mind you, I haven't done this in about 3.5 years, but yeah, she came out pretty good. Pretty excited. Look at that sheen. Oh my God, this is actually a pretty neat color. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it at first, but I mean, I'm not an orange fan, but geez, this color's pretty sick. Can't wait to get it all put back together. And earlier today, I got the dash 99% wired. I gotta put 2 connectors on the ends. I got some dash light or some footwell lighting in the bottom of the dash. I got the blinkers wired up. Just need to cut this thing out and go get it bent. We'll put one brake right at the bottom. Then we'll get this thing ready to get painted. So tomorrow we're gonna paint a lot of black. Woo!
Shoo-wee! Look at that paint job Chris did. Looks wonderful. All right, time to put them on. Chris Payne. Say hello.
Hi.
I'm letting him use the plasma cutter for once.
I get to play with this toy. All right, ready? Here we go.
See what you got.
Under pressure. How'd I do, Coach?
Let's check it out.
That's where I stop.
Looks good.
Thanks, Coach.
I'll give you a A-,
All right.
because you didn't put your welding jacket on. But other than that, you did good.
I just want to give a quick shout out to race ramps because they're pretty awesome, right? So you got the race ramps. Oh, look, Jelly likes them. And not only are race ramps awesome for getting your vehicle on and off low trailers and stuff, and you can have them custom made for different ramps and different angles and all that stuff and different lengths. We have a double set to get the Supra and stuff on the trailer, which I know you've seen before. But not only are they great at being ramps, they're really good at making dog pens. So they double in the shop. When you're not using them, you can use them to make a dog pen. Jelly can cheat because she can get up and over. But this little one, she's just chilling. She's just having a good old time. And we got the race ramps, making a little puppy pen. So not only am I on puppy duty today, Beck is out doing puppy sitting for a friend of hers today too. So we're both puppy sitting. But I'm gonna finish up some wiring on the Jeep today. I'm starting to get things mounted and routed. Even though it looks like a complete mess, there's stuff everywhere, but I know where all this is starting to go, and I'm just laying it all out and continuing all the sensors and moving some stuff around. This plug wires are rerouted and cleaned up on this side, not so much on the other side yet. Although the other side is starting to come together. I have the fuel pressure regulator mounted. I'm gonna change these hoses. I still gotta redo the plug wires on this side and get some more stuff wired. We already cut out a bunch of stuff out of this harness as well that doesn't need to be there. This is gonna go down the fender because this all goes to the front. I am starting to get this side figured out. I had to take the clutch pedal out of here because there was a clutch pedal in here, but I took that out and all the linkages and stuff, and then we'll get that dash put back in. So we still need a windshield, so we'll get that this week. Till then, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and share, and remember you can get all your Lite Brite Studios merch and decals
At litebritstudios.com.
Bye.
Bye.
So Beck's over here screwing around, and it's because it's on jack stand still because the shocks need to go in.
I was just trying to remind him that the shocks needed to go in. So that's why it's on jack stands and the tire moves.
And she fell off.
Yeah, I did. It showed.